Alrighty, Angry Bears Fan Podcast, episode 51, off the heels of a pretty uneventful win. I know that's, I guess, kind of hyperbolic when it comes to the Bears because we don't get many of them, but not much happened. The defense kept stride. We were going against the lowly Cardinals, who didn't have much to play for and don't have much talent out there. Justin was mediocre. Justin and the offense in general. Khalil Herbert kind of came alive. That was good to see, but again, it's the Cardinals, so who knows? But we'll see.
The whole offense is just mid, man. Like I'm just with all this debate and everything, Justin or Caleb or Drake May or whatever. I think you and I just texted back and forth a little bit before we started this episode here. We got a little bit of news, maybe a little bit of a tip of the hands of Ryan Poles. That according to Ian Rappaport, Matt Eberflus is expected to be the Bears head coach in 2024. No news on Getsy. I'm assuming he's gone.
There's no
Uh,
way they could keep Getsy. There's
so
just
there's
no way.
there's two things I want to talk about with this. Okay, number one is we were told, us fans, we were told that when Kevin Warren was hired, that he would have, you know, complete oversight over football operations. This doesn't seem like a Kevin Warren move. This seems more of a McCaskey move because they were the ones that gave Ryan Poles this short list of people to hire from in the first place. And that concerns me a little bit because were we lied to? Was this a Kevin Pole? Was this a Kevin Warren move or was this a McCaskey move? If it's a Kevin Warren move and he likes Eberflus that much, which is worse? The fact that he likes Eberflus so much, or that this would be a McCaskey move. And number two is if Eberflus does move on from his offensive coordinator Luke Getsy in this offseason, not a lot of offensive coordinators are going to want to come. Experienced offensive coordinators are going to want to come and attach you know, their tenure to a coach that has been on the hot seat, this year in particular. But if they join the Bears, staff as an offensive coordinator and Matty Eberflus gets fired next year or, the year after, that's kind of a short-term job opening for them. So I don't see the Bears offensive coordinator job being a hot ticket for a lot of
No,
these
yeah, probably
experienced
not.
offensive coordinators. I can think of two names. I sent you one. I was kind of doing a little bit of research, but we'll start with the first part of the question that I asked. Um, which one is worse in your opinion? Is this a Kevin Warren move or is this a McCaskey move?
I don't know per se. I think it's more of a waiting. I think it's been getting leaked out that Michigan's about to offer Harbaugh like a deal he can't refuse, where he can't leave for the first couple of years. Um, and Ben Johnson, if it's true or not, leaked out that he wanted 15 million or whatever. So maybe they're just like, all right, we're not going to get anybody. What are you going to get? Antonio Pierce, who's the guy? Um, but it feels like a McCaskey move, like you said. That's just what we've known. Um, I've been up and down about Eberflus. It's been an eventful season, but he's been growing on me the last few years. My biggest problem is that like he didn't even attempt to let somebody else call plays just to see. We're not firing Getsy. It's like Matt Nagy was our head coach. He took the play calling away from himself, gave it to somebody else, took it back, gave it back to somebody. Like, can we at least try something? That is my biggest, and obviously weird end of the game stuff. But I don't know. I think that falls under the play calling. So that was
Well,
my biggest gripe. And
we
we all
yeah.
know I'm Team Justin, and I think Eberflus staying is a very good sign that they're probably just going to ride it with Justin and then do whatever next. You know what I mean? Clean house next year if it doesn't go well.
Well, I mean, we saw kind of signs in Matty Berfus's press conference this past week. If you listen to him speak, he was a little bit more open and critical of the offensive play calling than he normally is. I mean, obviously, he still showed support for his guy, Luke Getsy, but he was talking about needing to get better in short yardage situations. He wasn't putting the onus on players like he normally does in terms of execution. He was talking about, needing a staple play and being able to design a staple play that they can use on short yardage situations, similar to what Philly does with the tush push and everything else like that. So there's a lot of stuff coming out on Twitter and everything else like that. Short videos of Matt Eberflus having nicknames for every single person on his team. and some of them are actually pretty decent.
Mhm.
I'm not even gonna lie. You could tell that the players like Eberflus and they like playing for Eberflus. Just some of those late game
Yeah.
decisions kind of are, a little bit screwy. Maybe he learns from that. I don't know. But the team seems to rally around him a little bit. So I guess that's one thing. Ryan Poles after the Montez Sweat trade, his comments in the press conference after that trade was made showed that he gave, pretty much Matt Eberflus the vote of confidence, talking about, how the players don't quit on him amidst, losing and blah, 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 blah. That scared a lot of people. So I guess it's just all come full circle with Matt Eberflus pretty much staying through 2024. We'll move on to the second part of what I was talking about was the experienced offensive coordinator. So I sent you one name, Daryl Bevel. I don't know if you did any research on Daryl Bevel. Daryl Bevel's an offensive coordinator. He's the quarterback coach in Miami right now. He's a experienced play caller as an offensive coordinator. He was Russell Wilson's offensive coordinator when
Oh
they
yeah,
were good.
Seattle.
Yeah, and won a Super Bowl. He's also had a couple of other offensive coordinator jobs. He has had the ability to develop quarterbacks. So that's one name I would look out for. Then another one that's been thrown out in Twitterverse, ESPN 1000 was talking about it even before this Matt Eberflus news came out as a possible offensive coordinator candidate if Getsy goes is Frank Reich. Now, Frank Reich, Matt Eberflus has history with. Matt Eberflus was his defensive coordinator when he was the
Yeah.
head coach in Indy. He kind of got, not really a good deal in Indy. And then, of course, we all know what happened. He was the first coach fired this year. He really got a raw deal in Carolina. He
Yes.
wanted CJ Stroud, but
I
owners.
remember that. I remember him saying that that it would leaked out that Reich really liked Stroud, even like before pro days, or for whatever reason he was big on Stroud. But
Well, if you
they
remember,
said Tepper wanted Bryce Young though.
during the pre-draft workouts and everything else like that, there was a sound clip of Josh McCown, who was Frank Reich's offensive coordinator, I believe, in Carolina, and he McCown was seen and heard talking to CJ Stroud, talking about like, oh, we'll play some pickup games in Carolina, blah 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 blah, because that entire offensive staff, Frank Reich included, wanted CJ Stroud. Um, if they bring in Frank Reich does have a history of working with quarterbacks, and that's part of the reason why he was brought on to Carolina in the first place. If you had a preference between Frank Reich and Darrell Bevel, which one would you go with?
I would probably say Frank Reich because of him and Eberflus have their history. I just want them to bring in somebody like you said to start this off. The offense and Eberflus said it too. Like we have no identity. Like one week it's read options, next week it's you know what I mean. It's fly routes. It's like the next week we're trying to throw screens. I don't know if he's like over scheming for what people are doing, but at some point you got to do what you do and they got to stop you. Like that's what I didn't like about that Minnesota game where they're throwing screens. Everybody's like, "Oh, well, we all know that Minnesota blitzes a lot, so you throw screens against the blitzes." It's like, yeah, in a fucking third, you know what I mean, on certain situations. But it's like you know what I mean. They don't all. They're not. You can't let them always dictate to us. Like we
Yes.
got to be doing the dictating, and then they have to adjust. Not always us playing on like I said to be not like I guess it's ironic, but it's like we don't need to be on the defense on offense. Like we're attacking, like they stop us, and like we've got Justin Fields, we've got DJ Moore, we've got decent stable running backs. O line runs like you said, third and short. These easy plays we should be getting. Like we got Justin Fields. We used to run the. I guess this is before Getsy, but the QB sweep we used to do that a decent amount. Like this is easy money. Yeah, every once in a while we get stopped, sure, but like I just don't believe on 3rd and 2 out of 10 times. I think we get that QB sweep 7 of them. Like you can't stop that play, and it's like the tush plays other things, or you know what I mean. Some boot, kind of like that bootleg play where he got tripped. It's like we need to be doing something like that, but he's just so basic. You know what I mean? Oh, let's throw a hitch. And yes, Justin Fields could be better with those, more accurate early with those. But we have guys on our team. We have to play to their strengths. And if Justin's strength isn't throwing a 0.5 second out route on the money, then it's like, why don't we use his God given abilities to get the fucking first down? Like,
Yeah,
that's whoever it
it's
is,
very
it's got to be
vanilla.
somebody with a little bit of creativity and a little like to let go of the reins. I've been harping on this. It just feels like this isn't a offense designed for Justin Fields. Every once in a while, we'll throw some stuff in there for him. But in reality, it should have always been his offense, not the coordinator's offense. The coordinator should have been whatever he was doing before with Aaron Rodgers. He should have threw it out of the fucking window.
I agree. This news comes, like I said, maybe it's a little bit of a tip of hands. Obviously, it's not going to affect the value of that number one overall pick.
No,
Um, it's worth at least three first rounders as the starting point conversation. It may be three first rounders and a player.
I'm
Um,
well. What do we get? I would say DJ Moore is worth the first. So we basically got three firsts for the last one
and a second.
and a second. So it's like
Yes.
it can't be any lower than that. Like in what realm is Bryce Young worth less than Caleb? People know that. I think there's a lot more desperate teams this year too. I think the Raiders are desperate. I think Washington is going to be very desperate. They got new ownership. They're about to clean house. I'm assuming they're going to get a fun offensive coach, and I think they're going to do whatever they can do to get up to number one or number two, to get May or to get um, Caleb, and have done in the past. And like I said, they got the ownership led by what, Magic Johnson, right? I just think they're going to do something. I think Denver is going to be desperate. Oakland,
Washington really wants Caleb Williams because Caleb Williams is from the area. He's a Washington kid.
is he
Uh,
really? I didn't know that.
yeah,
That's interesting.
he's a
I would like
Washington
someone
kid.
because they're three now, right? I think they're three now. I thought I saw
Yes,
they're three right now.
yes.
There's a lot of, like I said, three first, and they give us Jonathan Allen or Terry McLaurin. I would love to do that and move back to three. We still reality could get Marvin Harrison Jr. if we get Terry McLaurin. We won't. I mean, maybe we don't need him. Maybe you do go get him. Who, you know what I mean? I don't know. Um, but I want to do something like that. So I was happy to hear Eberflus was staying. I know I've been calling for his job every other week for half the season, but I said this last week that Justin's realistic best chance of staying is if Eberflus stays, because it'd be weird because if they draft a quarterback, like we're saying with Poles, you draft a quarterback, they play like shit, Eberflus is getting fired. Then we're in the same cycle they're in. We're like, oh, we got a new head coach. This isn't his quarterback. And it's like we need to like kind of
Well,
stick to the plan
what a
and
lot
stick to,
what a lot of Bears fans don't seem to get to, and I see this a lot on Twitter, Facebook, Bleacher Report, just different Reddit, just different Bears forums and everything else like that, is that Ryan Poles told us from the very get-go, this is a 3 to 5 year rebuild, right? He's not gonna start over a rebuild that he just started. So how do you do that? How did we say we wanted this roster to be built? We said we wanted it to be built like Phillies, and we wanted us to like Detroit's, how Detroit has built their roster. How did they build their rosters? They had multiple draft picks and they drafted well. How do you get those draft picks? You have the number one overall pick 2 years in a row and you trade them for King's ransoms. You
and that's
build the
what Philly
roster
did. Philly
around the
traded
quarterback.
back to
That
back years.
we had talked about it, we debated, this, that, and the other. And you're right, absolutely. With Matty Eberflus staying, there is this bodes very well for Justin Fields' future in Chicago. I just don't think they're going to repeat the same cycle. We will know if this was a McCaskey decision based on what happens in this offseason. Because if it's the same cycle, then it's going to be the same shit over and over
Yeah.
and over again. We're never ever going to get any real change.
And that's what
Um,
I want to break that habit. And like maybe Justin isn't the guy, but I think you build the culture. And it's like if Justin is the guy, we'll find a Jalen Hurts. We build our culture, we build our team, and we'll find our Jalen Hurts in the third round or a Russell Wilson or whoever. Or if it's a top pick, we're gonna have another top pick. So it's
So
like,
how about let's talk about that trade suggestion that you had put on Facebook the other day. I saw your brother
oh
commented
yeah,
on it. I saw your brother commented on it.
he was
I
doing well
comment
in the groups. They all turned into, so shout out that. But yeah, it was got a lot of traction. A lot of the place I posted Justin Herbert. You brought it up too the other day at the
I
end of when we
did.
were
I brought
talking,
it up
and
last week.
it was what was it? Justin Herbert,
Justin Herbert and
a fourth
a
or
fourth round
fifth or
pick or a
fifth or
fifth round
something
pick or something like that for
for the number one
one
pick.
one. Yeah, for 1-1 and their second round pick next year. Um, Me, my feelings on it. I made my feelings known on it very, very clearly. And I would do that trade in a heartbeat, 100% in a heartbeat. I just feel like Justin Herbert is miles ahead of Justin Fields as a quarterback. all the tools, not just, he's a much better thrower, he's a much better processor. And I know your brother had a point where he was talking about, he hasn't won shit and he has a much better team around him. But I
I
counter
think
that
much
with,
better is the understatement.
but my counter to that is that coaching is a big deal in this league. It really is. It's not that Justin Herbert's been playing poorly, because he hasn't. Justin Herbert is a fantastic
He's
quarterback,
folded in late games though a lot.
100%. Not nearly as much as Justin has,
No,
but the
but you just
defense,
yeah.
has been really bad, just like the Bears, and drops. He has horrible drops. But my thing is that if there is any person out there that says that they would take right now Justin Fields over Justin Herbert, you are a fucking liar.
What I would say is I think Justin Herbert is better than Justin Fields, but I don't know if Justin Herbert's going to light up the world with our wide receiving core. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to give up the first round pick. Like we have a quarterback
But we
who.
still have one. We would still have one.
What I'm saying is like,
And
which
that
one we have?
we have pick 8 right now.
Oh yeah, but either way, what I'm saying is like the assets. Like our problem is like we want more stuff to surround our quarterback with, not to get an even higher price quarterback than we can't get any free agents. And again, Justin Herbert is better than Justin Fields. I don't right now. I don't want to do it because he already signed that contract, and we're gonna have to pay him like fucking $55 million.
I would still do it in a heartbeat.
And we
In
did
a
that. That smells of Cutler. It didn't work. I like Cutler. This
Like I
that
said,
would be
that's
that would
why
be a Cutler
coaching
ass move.
that's why coaching is so important in this
Yeah, but
league.
if you're saying we're gonna get a good coach, maybe this coach will whoever this coach is will coach Justin up.
I don't think Justin Fields is as talented a thrower as Justin Herbert is.
I agree.
I
But
don't
I don't
think
think
Justin
Justin
Fields.
Herbert's
I
a
don't think
talent as a
Justin Fields
runner.
touches Justin Herbert, regardless if he reaches his max potential as a quarterback.
I
He
don't think.
doesn't touch
I,
Justin Herbert as a thrower. Not even
maybe.
close.
I guess.
Not even close. Justin, it's not close.
Well, I don't
Um,
know. Well, we just don't know because he hasn't got that. And Justin Herbert to start his career had a borderline Hall of Famer, Mike Williams, who's a Pro Bowl wide receiver, other things, and a quality defense.
yeah, but they can't stay healthy.
I mean,
His top 2 wide receivers can't stay healthy. Have they had a full season with
I
Justin Herbert? I don't think so. Mike Williams blew his knee out
maybe
last
Mike
year.
Williams, but I don't know. Not definitely
Keenan
not Keenan
Williams,
Allen. Definitely not
Keenan
Keenan Allen. He
Williams,
gets hurt.
Keenan Allen's been hurt here and
Yeah,
there,
he
and
plays like 8 games a year.
you know what I'm saying. Like, so it's not we can't sit here and say that Justin Herbert's had these 2 great wide receivers his entire career, because he's had them for maybe half a season every year.
Yeah, but intermittently, like they're like one's not playing, the other one is. He's good, and they just throw the ball every play, go for it on fourth down all the time. They were like letting him go crazy. I don't know, like we're just the Bears, and they were like last year just was running the ball 22 times a game, and not to say he doesn't scramble, but you watch the game. If he ran it 20 times, 15 of them were designed runs. It wasn't like he was taking off on
Oh
every
yeah,
drawback.
absolutely, I agree with that.
So you can't like again, it's a product of this thing. Again, Justin Herbert is better than Justin Fields, and Justin Fields got a lot of work on. But I to me, the Justin Herbert thing is what we did with Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is Justin Herbert 20
Yeah,
years
but
ago.
it's not going to be as expensive as Jay Cutler was. Jay Cutler was 3 first-round picks. This one's going to be first
Yeah,
overall and
but we
a
just went
second.
over that the first round pick is the number one overall pick is worth 3 firsts in a player, so it is more than 3 firsts.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that, but for the
I just
Bears,
think if we would
wise, it's
look
really not.
better if we end up with Max Crosby, Jonathan Allen, whoever some vet who's like an impact player, plus Marvin Harrison Jr., plus one of these linemen, plus whoever will also be able to afford people in free agency because our quarterback doesn't make $50 million.
Well, I don't think if you trade any lower than 3, you're not getting Marvin Harrison
Here,
Jr.
I don't know
But
where's the Cardinals at because if the Redskins are
two,
3, they're not taking Marvin Harrison Jr. I think they're
the
taking a quarterback.
Cardinals,
No, the Redskins or the
the
Commanders
Cardinals, the
are
Cardinals
4,
will take
right?
Marvin Harris. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they're
Cardinals
4.
will
Yeah,
take Marvin Harrison Jr.
yeah. We
New
can't fall
England's 3.
behind them. New England, I don't think New England.
New
and
England takes a quarterback.
Washington's taking a quarterback. If it's
Yes.
Jaden Daniels or if it's Caleb, whoever they get to, May, whoever's left, and
I
whoever
really
trades
think
up to one is going to take a quarterback. So we just got to stay in front of the Cardinals.
well, I don't think it's necessarily that. I think Arizona, because they have Kyler Murray's contract still. It's almost an untradeable contract. My thing is that I think Arizona does what the Bears did, what the Bears do, and what they did last year. I think they trade down again because they're collecting
They need it.
assets.
They do
You know
need
what I'm
it.
saying? They need a lot of talent on that team, and one person isn't going to overhaul their entire roster. So maybe they trade back. I really think they do because another team's going to want to come up and get quarterback too, whether that
Yeah.
be Caleb Williams, Drake May,
Jaden
Jaden
Daniels.
Daniels,
I mean, it would
any of
be
those
smart for
guys.
them. In my head, yeah, but like you said, they got Kyler. You got to get him something. But
Absolutely,
this
but
is a
this
wide
wide
receiver heavy
receiver,
draft.
yeah,
Brock
this wide
Bowers could be
receiver
there.
draft is stacked. I
Yeah.
mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. obviously is wide receiver one, and then you wide receiver two, you can change
Neighbors,
intermittently, whether it
Keon
be Malik
Coleman,
Neighbors or Rome Medusa from Washington.
Keon Coleman, people like.
Yeah, like there's a lot of different people. I mean, Keon Coleman's
The
kind of
other
dropped
kid
a
from
little bit.
the
Coleman's dropped off
the
quite a
other
bit.
kid for Ohio State, Abuka, he'll be a top 15 pick, I'm guessing, top 20 for sure.
Yeah,
So
it's a
you're right.
very
I don't yeah. I'm I think we do that too. I think Poles is going to do what he did again, and we fall to like 9 or 8 or something. Unless Washington, I think the Raiders or somebody like that, or the Broncos, or I don't know who's going to
see.
be.
Here's the thing. I I hate doing this, but hear me out. We were this close to a double trade back last year. I think Ryan Poles pulls it off this year because if we fall back to 4 with as heavy a wide receiver draft as this is, and say we drop back to like 4 or 5 or whatever, Marvin Harrison Jr. is gone 3 or 4, whatever, they're taking one spot ahead. I think Ryan Poles trades again to a another quarterback needy team, such as somebody that'll trade up for a Jaden
And
Daniels
hope
or
Alt
something
or
like that.
somebody falls or Neighbors
Yeah.
falls.
Well, because we still have pick 8.
Yeah,
Rome and Malik Neighbors are both going to be there at 8.
I think
You're not taking
I think
three,
Joe Alt will
three,
be there too at 8.
three wide receivers aren't getting taken
I
in the
think
top
Brock
10.
Bowers will be there at 8.
I
Uh,
want them to. Their biggest need is a wide receiver two. That's their
yes.
biggest need is wide receiver two. They're also going to need a Eddie Jackson replacement that could probably be found in the 3rd or 4th round. They obviously
Yeah.
need a center.
Or a veteran, like I said, we can get a free agent. We're also
Yeah,
that's out of the equation. Like we're gonna get multiple free agents, and
we're gonna need an edge two.
yeah, another
Um,
edge.
we're gonna need a tight end too. We're gonna need like a more athletic tight end, somebody who's a route runner and a pass catcher. So that's where Brock Bowers would fall. So say realistically, even if they pick up like an extra 4th round pick or something, they trade back from 5 to
If
7.
it's a fourth, I don't want to do it. No, it better be lucrative because I don't want to. Well, I guess it depends. Like you said, if Marvin Harrison's gone, right? Whatever, take whatever, and then just roll the dice. Um, I was a little critical when we did the draft. We were a little critical of polls and some of these later picks, but I posted Terrell Smith has been just balling.
I wasn't.
Not you of him. I'm just saying like Tyreek Stevenson, Javon Dexter. We weren't high on these guys.
I wasn't high on the Zach Pickens.
I had
Um,
no idea who Javon Dexter was, and again, but either way,
I
he's
thought he
panning
would
out
have
into
been.
a
Yeah,
player.
I thought he was a reach.
Yes,
It still panned out. I mean, I thought he could have got him in the 3rd round, but I mean, the Tyreek Stevenson and the Terrell Smith picks I liked. Tyreek Stevenson is just very physical, and that was my number one thing
yeah,
with him
he's
is that
good.
he
He's got his
reminded me a
flaws,
little
but
bit.
yeah,
He reminded me a little bit of a Devin Witherspoon, who was my number 1 corner going into last year. But he just doesn't have the ball skills of Witherspoon. But I will say this: his draft picks have looked really well this year. Even Roshan Johnson, he hasn't really gotten a lot of touches. I think Roshan Johnson needs more touches. Um,
I don't get at this point of the season why he's not getting all of them.
I,
Like Khalil Herbert is out of here. We're not, he's on his contract's up, right?
no,
He's got one more
he's
year.
he's got one more
Okay,
year.
so he might stick around for one more year, but Foreman we'll probably cut him. I don't
Here's the
know, but
thing: we need a explosive top end speed running back. We don't have a change of pace back. Khalil Herbert's explosive, but he doesn't have that breakaway speed. He's got like that quick, 15-yard shuffle speed. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
he's explosive for the first 15 yards and then he slows down. We need somebody. I'm not gonna say like Achan, you know what I'm saying? Because he was kind of like a diamond in the rough kind of thing, but like a Tajay Spears out of Tennessee, somebody who
Scat
can
back.
change gears. Yes, a scat back exactly. Somebody who's like a third down back that could catch passes out of the backfield. Because Khalil Herbert, and we had this discussion last offseason when I said Khalil Herbert was not a lead back. Khalil Herbert can't pass block. Khalil Herbert can't catch a pass out of the backfield. He does okay. He's mediocre at it, but he's not great at it. You need somebody who's a specialized third down back like a Darren Sproles or somebody like that
Yeah,
can
all
come
our
in
running
third
backs are
down.
pretty similar. There's no change of pace. They're got like
Exactly. And
they're
and
all
we
like
need that.
bowling balls, and so they're like this
Yes.
one's a different type of bowling ball. Like,
And if
um,
we get back to back picks, like I said, with a double trade down, or even if you trade down to 7 or whatever, and you get a ridiculous haul for that, and you have picks 7 and 8, why not pick Brock Bowers? And then with the very next pick, you take a Malik Neighbors or a Roma Doomza. Like that would be
I
ridiculous.
do well for losing Mooney. I do agree. I think we need two more weapons. Komet is doing his thing, but he's like a traditional tight end. He's really not. I won't disrespect to say he's not a weapon, but he's just not like he's not a mismatch nightmare. He's just like, you know what I mean. He does his job and does it good. I do. If we're losing Mooney, Tyler Scott doesn't seem to be it. I think you're right. We need two guys. But I just think if Joe Alt or that other guy falls there, I think we should think about that. Just because I like Braxton Jones, I just think he's more of a right tackle or a guard.
Braxton
Yeah.
Jones has one of the best pass blocking grades in the NFL.
I think it's jaded because Justin dips. Like you can't
That's
just.
not how they base it. They base it off of pass block win rate percentage,
I don't.
and
I
he
don't know. I feel
has
like
one
I
of the
watched the game and
highest
he's getting his
pass
ass
block
kicked.
win rate percentages in the league.
I don't know.
Granted, he struggles. Everybody struggles with Myles Garrett. Everybody struggles with like a TJ Watt type. You know what I'm saying? But you face those guys maybe what once or twice a year.
I mean, every game in the playoffs,
You know,
every game, and in our division, you're playing Gary twice, Aiden Hutchinson twice, Daniil Hunter twice.
yeah, but they handled Aiden Hutchinson, and I think Daniil Hunter is a Chicago Bear next year. If I'm being honest,
Yeah, he signed. He restructured a 1 year deal, right?
yeah, I think
I
Daniil
believe
Hunter's a
that as
Bear
well.
next
I
year.
hope they do because that is exactly what we fucking need.
Yeah,
And it's
I
dual.
just
We're
got that
fucking.
feeling.
He had well at this off season. He's got to get somebody. I mean, Edmonds was a nice pickup, but that was our best one, and it's a middle linebacker. Like we got to get a D end. We got to get a wide receiver. You know what I mean? Whoever that is, I don't know. Did they re-sign T Higgins yet? I don't.
No, T Higgins will be a free agent most likely. I just or he'll be franchise tagged, but I just don't see them shelling because T Higgins is going to be over 20 mil a year. I don't see them forking out 20 mil a year when you can draft a
Yeah,
top
some
10 wide receiver. I just don't foresee that happening. And you're gonna end up giving T Higgins wide receiver one money to be a wide receiver two, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with you there. I don't want to. Yeah, right. I don't want to give him 20. That's too much. I would
and
much rather get
that's
a
what
D
that's
end
what he's
or
gonna get. That's what he'll get. He'll get over 20. I
yeah,
can
that's true.
promise you that. So
I wonder who's
it's
gonna
kind
give
of
it to
like,
him.
huh?
Packers? No, Packers usually don't pay that much for a wide receiver.
They need one.
Yeah,
Christian Watson can't stay healthy. Romeo Dobbs, I don't know where is Romeo Dobbs? Nobody knows.
he's really in hit or miss. I like Jaron Reed. He plays pretty well for them.
Yeah, I like Jaden Reed too.
Yeah, I
But
wish we would have got him instead of Tyler
New
Scott.
England. Well, here's my thing. Here's what I think is going to happen with New England. I think either Russell Wilson ends up in New England or Atlanta, since the Bears are probably keeping Justin Fields. If he goes to New England, I think even with Bill Belichick gone, because I don't think Bill Belichick's staying, I think they go after Russ, and I think they sign T Higgins, and their offense is going to be better. It's obviously not going to be really good, but Russ probably signs for the vet minimum since he's going to be getting paid $70 million from the Broncos
I
anyway.
don't think he would do
Uh,
that anyway. I
oh
don't
yeah,
think
I
he would
think he
sign for the
will
minimum.
absolutely. I think what we're going to see is
Not
a
for the
Russell.
Patriots. Maybe if it
I
was like somebody who made the playoffs and they
I
need a
have a
quarterback.
Russell. I think Russell Wilson's going to have a chip on his shoulder next year because he hasn't been playing bad football. I mean, it's not been
Yeah,
great,
I
but
was watching something. They put his stats up, and they were like similar to Patrick Mahomes is in the last like 8 weeks or some shit.
yeah, he's got 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the season. I mean, he's
I honestly didn't like the what they did with him. I'm not.
no. I think what
I
they
hate
did
when
was
I have
fucking bogus.
because and what I don't like about it is I harp on players sitting out so much. I fucking hate it. like healthy sit out. Oh, I'm trying to protect myself. If Russell Wilson would have been like, you know what, I'm not playing these last 2 games, guys. I don't want to get hurt and lose out on my bonus money. They would be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And for them to turn around and do the opposite is just blatant. And it's like malpractice too, because you're losing games on purpose then. Like
Yep. It's
like
it's blatant. And on top of that, this affects the gambling community, the partnership, with the NFL and
and the
gambling.
NFL.
This
Let's take
this
that fuck
has
them gambling. It's
yeah, it
the
has huge
NFL. Like
ramifications.
it's just
Huge
ridiculous. I
ramifications.
think that, and I just think that's a poor way to handle business on somebody who didn't do anything. He was like old. Like, is it his fault you guys overpaid him?
Yeah. It's a contract that they
Yes,
signed.
offering him. It's like, of course he's going to say yes. Who's going to be like, you know what? I don't think I'm worth this. You can take some of your millions back. Like, why? Like that doesn't make any sense. So I just and like he wasn't playing that bad. And even if he was, he's on a dumpster fire team. They spent on McGlinchey, but their best wide receiver is Cameron Sutton. He's not. What is he? A number 2 at best. No tight end. Middle of the pack running backs. Basic ass O line. Nobody on D. You know what I mean? Just a nicely coached defense, but no. Besides Patrick Surtain Jr., no real players on the defense. And it's like they traded all that shit, traded away Chubb, and it's like, oh, and if Russ doesn't fucking dominate, and it's like he's a playoff team right now, right? They're borderline playoff team, isn't he?
Boy, well, last week when they lost to New England, it pretty much killed all their play. They
Oh,
have as much
but they were
playoff
close.
chance as
That's
the
what I'm
Bears
saying. They're
do.
middle of the pack with a dumpster fire roster. Like,
Yeah, they were 1-5.
yeah, so it's like who is gonna do better? Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
and it's like you're gonna owe them so much money, so they have to go rookie.
Yeah,
They have to get a rookie quarterback. Lucky for them, there'll be a few. They're gonna end up with like JJ McCarthy or something because they don't have the assets to trade up
I
for.
don't know. I think JJ McCarthy fits Sean Payton's
I like
system.
JJ McCarthy. JJ
I do
McCarthy
too.
is like a good kid. You put him on. You got a good coach, a strong head coach. I think he'll be just fine. He'll throw.
Yeah,
He can make all the
I
throws.
can
He's a
see that
bonehead.
being I
He
can see
reminds me
that
kind
being
of
a
like a.
match made in heaven.
He
I
reminds
really
me of.
can.
I know I said. Well, I didn't think Justin Herbert reminds me of Jay Cutler. I just think like the trajectory of their careers and like them going to the Bears. I think it's the same thing that happened to us before. But I think JJ McCarthy reminds me a lot of Jay Cutler. Big arm, things like that. But he's more of the kids that go to Michigan. They're real. They play with a lot of heart. But I think I don't know unless they're gonna. Didn't they just re-sign Sertain? Didn't he just get a new deal this year? So
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think they can trade him. Like he's their only piece that's going to get them up in the draft because they're going to be at like 10 because they had a decent defense.
I think JJ is there at 10 anyway.
Yeah,
If they want him, they can have him.
yeah. JJ, maybe Jaden Daniels.
I think Jaden Daniels is this year's Anthony Richardson. I just think with the raw talent and
Yeah. Well,
athleticism that
Michael
he has.
Penix, I guess, will be there, but he's got bad knee. We'll see.
Yeah, Mike. And
Well, I
plus, he's
think
a
there's
little.
going to be a lot of desperate people. I think we're going to get more than what we got last year for the one, and a decent
Oh, I
amount
agree.
more. Um,
I agree.
I really think with Washington, I'm hoping Washington stays at 3 because that's what I want. Because then we could go to 3 and still be in the same position. If you want to trade back, you still trade back again and get a fucking ransom. And plus, whatever Washington, like I said, they're going to give us a player and a first or something to move up one spot. I'm guessing something like that.
So let's talk about this game on Sunday. It's against Atlanta. Um,
2 point
Atlanta's
favorites. The Bears
offense,
are.
Atlanta's offense is just god awful. They are in disarray, complete disarray. Arthur Smith does not know how to use the playmakers he has on offense. There's not one single person that scares me on that offense. And that's sad because they have Kyle Pitts, they have Bijan Robinson, and they got Drake London. Drake London's a pretty good wide receiver, but like I said, there's no creativity on that offense. Now their defense, on the other hand, they have a pretty damn good defense. They have Calais Campbell, they have AJ Terrell.
Grady Jarrett.
Um, you know what I'm saying? They have great playmakers on that defense. So I think you're looking at a low scoring game, unless Justin Fields just completely turns into superhuman Justin Fields. I know DJ Moore has worked through this ankle injury. He called himself Wolverine because of how quickly he heals. Um, but Darnell Mooney is out for this game. Darnell Mooney will not play. It will be DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet's questionable with a knee injury, but he was talking about how Jimmy Graham was telling him the importance of being available and playing through injuries and just being able to be on the field for your teammates. So I kind of like that. This kind of goes hand in hand with you were saying about players sitting out because they want to stay healthy and stuff like that. Cole Kmet's more of an inline blocking tight end anyway.
And they gave him his deal. They rewarded him. So
Yeah, you know
it's
what I'm
like you
saying.
got no
So I
reason to
think
sit out now. Like,
I think realistically we have some pretty good the run game has to stay going. We have to stay with the run. I think that's the only way the Bears win this game. I just right now I just don't feel, and it's sad to say, I just don't feel comfortable with the game on the line going through Justin Fields' arm right now. I just don't. I think if you build a lead, you have to obviously keep that lead. So coaching, this goes on you again, Matt. You just were given the vote of confidence from through ownership, and through Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren and all that. Don't fucking blow it. If you're up 10 points in the fourth quarter, don't fucking blow that lead, especially to the goddamn Atlanta Falcons, because then you could go into week 18 in Lambeau Field, 7-9. Depending on how the cards fall, maybe you're playing for a playoff spot. I highly doubt it. They have less than a 1% chance of making it, but they need a
yeah.
plethora of things to happen. Um, so I mean, I see this game, kind of similar to last week's. Kind
Yeah,
of a
I think
mess.
so.
I think it's
Um,
24-16, 24-17 game, and Bears come up on top.
I just want to see them run more like something creative. Like,
I want to see
uh,
more boot action, man. And
yes, no, that's
I
what I
don't
mean.
want to
Like, do
see
we run
I
no
don't
play
want to
action?
see naked boots. I don't want to
Yeah.
see naked boots. I don't want to see a free rusher coming off the edge and Justin giving him a shivvy shake to I don't want to see that shit. I want to
Yeah.
see, creative play design on a bootleg.
More double crossers. I feel like on third and long, it's always like two hitches and two flies.
Well,
Like,
that's the thing is that crossers are great man beaters, and that's what Justin Fields is best at is,
and it's what
moving
he
against
sees a
man.
lot of because they're like, they know he got happy feet and they're going to run press man and they're going to hope, you know what I mean? He gets happy feet in the pocket and the pressure gets to him. And it's like, you need to be calling better plays. Like, I'm watching we watch the Lions play and they run that high low action all game. I feel like we never run that shit with the drag and you know what I mean, the guy coming over the top with the deeper drag. It's like we
The
never run
dig.
that. Yeah, like the high low concept is like no, we run like a lot of short curls and screens and a lot of just like the slot fly route, like it's been like just basic shit. Like do they know what's coming? Like
Well, it seems like Getsy's playbook comes straight out of Madden. You know what I'm saying? It's like he put in a copy of Madden, picked a playbook, and was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna run that this year
and
because
it's
that's
like
what
and
it.
it because he used to play with Aaron Rodgers, who you just gave a play, and Aaron Rodgers is a legend. He processes so differently, and it's like I can admit Justin isn't him, so it's like why are you running stuff that like for a guy who's processing stuff at a super high level, gets the ball out really fast?
Let's be honest. Aaron Rodgers was calling most of his plays by
That's what I'm
himself
sure.
anyway.
He's making a lot of checks. I don't know if Justin, I don't know if allows the word. I don't know if they empower him to do that, if they work on him calling
They
his checks
say
more.
they do.
It
They
just
have
doesn't seem like
say
it.
they
Yeah.
do.
And
It's frustrating. It's very very frustrating.
ugh,
But this game is big, man. Just I mean, I know it kind of shitty. We're 6-9. I know it sucks to say big game, but what with Matt Eberflus as much as retained for next year, it kind of is a big game in terms of it's a big game for Justin. It's a big game for Jalen Johnson. He's got his extension coming up possibly in the offseason. He needs to finish out the season strong and healthy. The defense, I think the defense has to finish strong um, to pretty much take that momentum with them into next year because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for
yeah,
momentum going into
yeah.
next year.
Because it
You
just
know,
looks like you said, Eberflus got the vote of confidence. That's a pretty good sign. It would just be very odd if they didn't keep Justin Fields and they kept Eberflus because then it puts us in the same trick bag we've been the last 3 years. We're like, well, he didn't draft him, this and that, and it's like just this weird thing. Where like again, where like a new head coach just want to come a new quarterback. The teams have been coming out and saying how much they, you know what I mean, ride for Eberflus or Justin, and I just think I want to see some chemistry, some culture building, and winning. Like the Cardinals game was sloppy, but we finished the game out and we won the fucking game. The offense, you know what I mean? Justin threw a bad interception in the end zone. It's just they're so untimely. It sucks for Justin because it was just one, and like every quarterback throws one interception. He just got to do a better job of not making that mistake when he made it.
in the
Um,
red zone.
yes,
And
and it was
he's
just to
and
the
he's
running back. Like I don't
well,
know,
here's the
just a,
thing is that he's notoriously really good in the red zone.
yeah,
Like that was, I think that was his first red zone interception of his career. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it was like you said, it came at a bad time, especially when he's being heavily criticized. But I mean, he's improved. His QBRs went down, his passer ratings went down, stuff like that. But again, it's just like you said, it's uncreative play calling. It's
yes,
very
and he
vanilla.
could be better. Yeah, like I can say, like he's like I said earlier, he's not great at the two-step drop, sling that quick out there. That's not his thing. Like for whatever he doesn't throw it well. He's thinking too
His
much.
throwing motion is so long.
Yeah, maybe the
It's like a
throwing motion's too
shortstop.
long. And right now, at this point in his career, the way teams are playing them, they're looking to jump that shit
Yes.
too. They're pressed up, and those just aren't there. We got to open up the offense and open that shit up so he can throw them. But right, like when we're playing, everybody's playing man press, and they're just playing to jump those routes. So like he's not going to have enough time to get the ball deep down the field. So, but if you open up the play call and get more fucking creative, start throwing boots, start doing some other stuff, they got to get out of that man press. Keep running double crossers. They got to get out of that shit because they can't. And that, like, but how it's like, how does Getsy not know this stuff? I know, you know what I mean. We're couch coaches and couch podcasters and all that stuff, but
It's
this
all
is
about
like
ego.
it's football 101, and it's like you got this simple stuff. It's like
It's
especially for a player like Justin, who's a dual threat quarterback, you got to keep it simple for them and put them in situations where it's easy reads and where he can go beat him. Like he's got a big arm and he's the best athlete on the field. Like
it's the
put him in
KISS
six.
method.
Yeah,
Keep it
exactly.
simple, stupid.
And Getsy, for whatever reason, how is CeeDee Lamb always open? It's ridiculous. He's got like, what, he got 12, 13 catches?
Yeah, like uh, the talk at the beginning of the year was just because he was not getting open, he was getting. But ever since he started talking that saying he was a number one, he has been a number one. CeeDee Lamb is amazing right
Yes, he
now.
is.
He's
He
playing
is.
some of the best football as a wide receiver I've seen in a long time,
Yes.
and it's just like you said, it's like he's always open. Even if he's not open, he's open. He's
And
like
it's like they got to be doubling them. Like the whole,
he's easily a top five wide receiver in this league.
I would, yeah, I guess it's what is it, Jefferson?
Jefferson, Chase, and then CeeDee Lamb or AJ
Yeah.
Brown, and
Oh,
then
Tyreek Hill too. What the? Yeah,
yeah. So he's top five.
yeah. I'd say five.
I would put Jefferson, Jamar,
I think I would
AJ
put
Brown.
CD at this point over Jamar. Like he just
I
plays.
no
He
no
doesn't get
shot.
hurt. He's played way longer. I'm assuming he dominated them in stats.
12 catches, 216
216.
yards, and a
Oh my.
touchdown. Good thing you're not playing him in the finals.
I fucking St. Brown. He's not doing shit, but hopefully they score right here. We get some garbage time where they're throwing to St. Brown. He's only got fucking 9 points. God damn it. And Waddle's hurt. Hawkinson's hurt for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You
over
got
with.
fucked.
Yeah.
You
Fucking
got
bullshit.
fucked. But that's all I have for today, man. Hopefully the Bears get
Yes.
that victory on Sunday. Like I said, my final predictions 24-17. What's yours?
I'm gonna go 24-10, maybe 27-10. I think the defense is gonna shut them down. Like I said, they're not good. Um, and no interceptions by Justin. Maybe in like 90 yards rushing. But all right,
90.
we will see you guys next week. Bear down. I'll talk to you soon. Like, follow, subscribe.
Yes.
Adios.
Adios.